Okay, okay, okay. So now I'm going to be taking you through integers. Not sure if you call it integer or integer, but I might be saying integer or integer. Just be aware that I am referring to one and the same thing. So it is usually represented as a Z. So yes, integers. So in today's lesson, what we are going to be doing, it is either adding or subtracting the integers. Very, very much important, honorable member, that you fully understand what exactly an integer is. So an integer, it includes whole numbers which are both positive or negative or zero. So the best way to describe this is through a number line whereby you do know very well that a number line continues in that direction, continues in that direction, and then starting from zero all the way towards the right, then those are the whole numbers because the whole numbers, they start from zero. So we said integers are the whole numbers with their negatives, which means this side we will be having -1, then -2, -3 up to infinity. So these are the integers. So now let's do just a few examples to actually have an understanding of how we would do the calculations related to the integers. So maybe let us say example number 1. If you are given something like -3, that you plus it by 7. So not that much complicated. I'm not really sure if they allow you to use a calculator in your class or in school, but otherwise with a calculator it becomes very much easier because you punch -3 and then you just plus it with 7. But otherwise, if they don't want you to use a calculator, maybe you might find that they want you to use a number line. And on a number line, if perhaps we had to use that same number line, maybe it is short, let me just redo this number line so that at least it's a bit longer for you to have a better understanding of how a number line can be used. It may still be shorter, but let's see. Let's say we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe this should be enough. Not maybe let me put 0 here. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10 goes up to infinity. And just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then negative same values. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Yes, something of this nature. So if you are given this and they want you to calculate it or work it out, it's like you are starting from -3 and then positive would mean you start counting towards the right, or you move towards the right of a number line. So let's say if it's a positive, you move towards the right. If it's a negative, you move towards the left. Yes. So now let's see how we would move. So from -3, you move 7 units to the right. And then wherever we end, that should be our answer. So it's like we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We end at 4. So that means the answer for this, it is equals to 4. Maybe let's look at another example. Let's say we are having -1 that is being added by, in the brackets, we are having -5. Okay, so here, because we have a bracket, we need to remove that bracket. How are we going to remove that bracket? Something that you just need to remember is that if you are having a negative into a positive, then you end up having, it's like you are having an invisible one there. Or otherwise, it's like you are multiplying a negative by a positive, and then it ends up being a negative. But let's say you had a positive that you are multiplying by something in the brackets, which is a positive, your answer ends up being positive. But if it is a negative inside the brackets, you are having a negative, then you multiply those, you end up having a positive. So when you look at that, you will always realize that when you multiply same sign, the result will be positive. But when you multiply different signs, the result will be negative. So just always keep in mind this, because it summarizes whatever that is happening there. You can see positive, 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 negative, negative, positive. But if it's different signs, negative and positive, then you get a negative. It is as easy as that. So for us to effectively use that number line, we might therefore need to remove the brackets. Then we have -1. So you see you have positive multiplying a negative. We end up having negative because those are different signs. And then now we can easily use the number line. So we will say from that -1, we will count to the left because it's -5. So we'll count 5 times. So that means we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we end at -6. So that means the answer for this one is -6. So that is how you would work it out, honorable member. Maybe let me add just a few examples. I'll just remove all of these. I think I'll be continue from example number 3. I'll just add a few, and from there, I hope you will be having a better understanding of how to use the number line. So let's say, okay, it's fine. Let's say this is our example number 3, where you are given 3 minus, maybe let's -5, yes. So in this case, honorable member, it's like you are counting from a positive value, but where are you going? Is it to the right or to the left? Because it's -5, then it's to the left. So you'll end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You end up at -2. So that means the answer for this one is -2. Very, very much important, honorable member, that you are able to notice how you use number line to find out the answer. So let us say you have -1, and then this time around, let's say negative into -5. Remember what I said? We don't want to be dealing with the bracket. So let's first remove the bracket. So you end up having -1. It's negative times negative, multiplying same signs. They should be positive. Then you have +5 over there. Then now you can start counting nicely from -1 towards the right, because it's positive, and we count 5 times. So from -1, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So we land at 4. So that means the answer for this one, it is equals to 4. And let's add one more example. And then I think after doing that, you should be having a better understanding of how the integers work. Okay, then it's fine. Let's see. Let's say we are having -1. Maybe that we plus it in the brackets, -4. And then maybe we close that. And then we say -4. Maybe let's plus it with, let's say +1 in the bracket. A very tricky one, or it looks like it's a very tricky one. But trust me when I say it's not, because all that you have to do, honorable member, it is just to make sure that you use your understanding or what you know about the, nope, I almost said theorem of something, but BODMAS. Yes, you need to simplify this until you just have two numbers. So let's see. Definitely, we will be having -1. And what else are we having? It's a positive by negative. We end up having -4. Remember, just want to make sure that we remove the brackets. This -4, you just write it as it is. You have positive and a positive. It will end up being that positive 1. Yes, something of that nature. But maybe, just to be fair, this and this, definitely it is the same as -5, and then you are having your -4 there, your +1 there, those two. So it's like we are just trying to do it part by part. So obviously, these two, you are having -9 over there that you will have to plus it by 1. So now you can even work it out, or otherwise you can still use your number line. It doesn't really matter that much. You will say, from that -9, you count towards the right and only once. You will land there on -8. So that is why now your final answer, it is therefore -8. And that is the end of it. So not that much complicated. All that we need, it is those steps, and then you just give the final answer. The number line is just there to assist you in case if you struggle. So I think I've done all that I wanted to cover. And for that reason, I would